Family, what's going on? This is another episode of what? Word
Word on the
on the Street.
street.
Come on now. That's solid right here. I don't know where you're tuning in from, but wherever you're tuning in from, do us a huge favor. Three things we ask: like, tag, and share. Like, tag, and share. We're just on here having a good time, having a beautiful conversation about Word on the Street. Thank you all, everyone that's coming on. We are streaming live from our personal social media, as well as the church social media, YouTube, the gram. We're coming from everywhere to get the word on the street. So listen, we're going to give you just a few minutes here to gather yourselves. So go ahead and call your friends, your cousin, your auntie and them, and tell them to jump on.
Tell everybody.
Jump on right now. We're continuing a beautiful conversation. People have been being blessed. We've gotten testimonies. It's been a very beautiful thing. So we just want you to spread the word.
Spread it.
So we're going to give you a few minutes.
Come on. Y'all come on in. We want to know where you're watching from. Turn a little bit.
Uh-oh. We got to get her in there. Bam. She's there.
Tell us where you are watching from. We are so glad that you're here.
Yeah.
We jumping in. Word on the street is we're still talking about mental health.
Yes.
And we've been talking about relationships. We've been talking about the mind.
Yeah.
We've been talking about ministry. We've been talking about marriage. And we're going to continue the conversation to the end of the month. It is imperative that we talk about mental health and we as believers, and even those who are watching that may not be believers, but thinking about Jesus and wanting to come over here, and, wondering what it's like to be on this side of things. And listen,
you got help.
There is help, and you don't have to be without it. What's up, Savannah?
Tori, what's going on?
So
you go live from Graham.
I am. I want to make sure that I am sharing properly.
Share,
so
y'all.
What I'm gonna do tonight.
Share.
I'm gonna share. I want everybody.
Jump on, because it's word on the street.
Everybody, go ahead and click that share button. Click that. Tag some of your people in the comments. Mm-hmm. If you know somebody who needs this conversation, we're gonna talk about it. And so let's get it. I'm so excited to continue this. This has been an amazing time of just the conversation. Has just been amazing. We've been getting some testimonies, and some people are being blessed by what's being said. And so I'm grateful for that. And we can get it popping on the gram.
Deacon Mark, what's going on, man? What's up, fam?
Okay.
We are in the building.
Hold on one second.
In the building. And so I personally have been blessed by the conversations that have been going forward for the last several weeks here. We're nearing towards the end of this month that has been set aside for mental health and mental health awareness and all that goes along with that conversation and that piece of life. All right. But so tonight we're going to have even more fun.
What's up, IG?
Graham is over here.
On the street. You know what it is. You know by this point. So we're going to get into the conversation, but we definitely want to make sure that everybody can jump in it. Mm-hmm. Y'all have been asking questions. Y'all, we want your questions. We want to welcome IG to Word on the Street. For those who are new here, we're happy that you're here. This is a much needed conversation.
Oh, wow.
Share this with somebody.
Wow. Man, we haven't started.
Oh, wow. So somebody, we're going to have
thank you,
somebody come on and put all that information, how you can sow. We appreciate that love.
We're trying to continue the kingdom.
We're going to continue to build. IG, what's up, y'all? Tell us where you watching from. It's Word on the Street. Y'all know what it is. We're continuing this conversation on mental health, y'all. We've been having this conversation all month for the month of May. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. We want to talk about it. We want to talk about where we are as believers. We want to talk about, we want to get into the conversation about mental health and the church. mental health when ain't nobody watching,
Right.
your mental health when you got to do ministry. We want to get into all of the things.
Right.
Okay.
And if
So-
you, quick question, because I don't want to miss this. Deacon Mark, if you want to sow, you're going to sow at Cash App, $V Believers 16. All right. Not V.
Just
Believers,
V
6.
Believers.
I'm sorry. Cash App is $V
Believers.
for Victory Believers. And make sure you see the emblem. We want it in the kingdom, but we want it to come this way. All right. And if you
And we appreciate
and
your every seed sown. It's really and truly just to uplift the king. It's crazy because we haven't even gotten into the conversation. Somebody's already asking how they can sow. We thank and praise God because
you all.
You know, we are.
Listen, let's jump into the conversation. So tonight we're talking about mental instability when it comes to your fears and when it comes to the level of success and the fear of success and the pressure that comes with that. Absolutely. And how that looks and how that plays a pivotal role in your mental stability every single day. There's pressures that really comes about to show up better the next day. You always putting pressure on yourself. And so we just want to have a conversation about that and how you can kind of balance that and how to maneuver through that.
Absolutely.
And how to overcome those challenges. So let's jump in. Let's jump right in.
So listen, what we've talked thus far, the last several weeks, we have definitely been talking about. We started out talking about the relationships. We started talking about how difficult it is to be going through mentally and having relationships, whether it's a love relationship or whether it's a friendship, and how we have maneuvered through things in terms of our mental health, showing up for people when you couldn't show up for you. Right. And people putting expectations on friendships in a season where we were all struggling at one point in the last 4 years, mentally and emotionally, and not being able to be available as we would like to be for people that we love. It was difficult. And some people took offense when you couldn't love them how they needed to be loved, but you were struggling yourself. Right. And it may have been a quiet struggle. You weren't necessarily telling everybody, oh, I'm struggling too. Everybody don't put it all out there like that, but everybody was struggling at some point or another to just hold it together. But there were expectations. Everybody, some people had, expectations in a marriage, expectations in friendships. And it's very, very difficult to keep it together. So we went from talking about mental health and marriage and relationships to mental health and ministry. Last week, we hit a little bit on ministry and how difficult it is to have to play your role, whatever that role is. You pastor, worship leader, usher, administrator, parking lot attendant, whatever you do for Jesus, trying to do that for Jesus and be mentally stable. It's difficult. It's
a challenge.
Yeah. It's been super difficult. And trying to give 100% of you when you only had 30. How could you give 100% when all you were working with was the 30? It's been a challenge. That is challenging. And how we talked about how to maneuver through that.
Trying to get something out of nothing.
How it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to say, I need a break. It's okay to say, I need a few minutes to gather myself. It's okay to say, hey, I can't make it today. No is a complete sentence. Ben, no is a complete sentence. No, I cannot come. No, I cannot make it. I want to. It wasn't that your heart wasn't in it. It wasn't that it was a heart thing where you didn't want to do. You had a heart to do, but mentally unable to do. And so we talked last week, we hit a really, really vital point where I had a moment where I was just sharing how I had mishandled myself. There came a point where I had mishandled me. I had mishandled ministry because I knew that I was gassed out, but I was still going. and I had nothing to give, but I was pouring from an empty cup.
Yeah.
And it was to my detriment.
Yeah.
My health was struggling. I was struggling in my health and struggling mentally, but my body started to show signs when I was not mentally doing what I knew I needed to do to just recharge. And it didn't take much. Just a few minutes to a couple of no's, and a few minutes to gather my own thoughts and breathe my own air and regroup and recharge.
Yeah.
And then I was ready to go back out there and do what I knew God was calling me to do. But while I was mishandling me, I was going down physically as well as mentally. So we touched on that last week. And tonight is all about you.
About you.
We want to talk about mental instability. We want to talk about the pressures of perfection, the pressures
of perfection,
of being perfect and doing everything right. And what happens when you fall short of that right? What happens when the expectations sometimes it's not even, and I'm gonna speak to this a little bit. Sometimes it's expectations from other people, but sometimes it's just you putting something on you to be perfect. And when you fall short, that's when you fall into that space. That negative space. So we're gonna talk about that tonight.
I mean, having to go beyond trying to be perfect every single day, trying to be perfect in every moment, trying to outlive the last point of success in your life.
So let me ask you, have you had an experience in that area where you were fearful of something? For me, I was fearful. I feared success, not a fear of failure, because I didn't think I would fail, but I did fear being successful and people putting an expectation on me to continue to be something. I talked. Me and Pastor Lewis were sharing with each other, and just we just talked. And I was telling him how there came a time where people would say I was going to be a certain thing. And what ended up happening was mentally, I started to really take a lot of that into my spirit. And I was like, now I can't be less than what everybody thinks I should be. I can't. It's because an expectation has been placed up. And now I have to keep reaching and meeting those expectations every single time I hear, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're supposed to do this. So have you had an experience in that, would you say?
Oh, man. My goal in life, and I'll say this, has been to reach the vision or the image that I had for myself when I was a young man. What I would consider a successful man, and always every single day trying to strive to be that, and going through disappointments and challenges in life and feeling like, man, I'm not where I need to be, because that's my marker. My marker is the image that I had in my mind. And if I'm not looking or appearing like that, then mentally and inwardly, I'm not feeling like I'm successful, or even though that's furthest from the truth, because I never gave myself time to evolve.
So you try to be perfect, but you haven't even
evolved,
gotten to that place of perfection.
No. And I don't think you ever can reach a place of perfection.
Oh no.
I think that
it's up here. It's in our minds.
It's the image that you that I wanted to. If I have these things checked off on my list and I's dotted, T's crossed, then I consider myself successful. And when I wasn't meeting that mark that I set for myself, I deemed myself unsuccessful. And I would beat myself down. I would kick myself, and I think that's
you're supposed to be a doctor.
I'm supposed to be.
You're supposed to be Dr. Jared Lewis. Here's the thing. You still can be.
You still can be.
Who said it had to be X, Y, and Z? Who said it? You're still going to be Dr. Jared Lewis.
The thing is, you don't stop moving.
Don't stop moving.
You don't stop moving.
It's okay to set goals and take your time trying to attain those goals.
That's right.
For some of us, it's going to happen swiftly.
Right.
And for some of us, we're going to have to pace ourselves. Some of us have ADD, low attention deficit. You start something and you're going good, and then all of a sudden it comes crashing down because you're putting too much pressure on yourself to get to those deadlines that you've set. Now, nothing wrong with setting goals and deadlines, but just because you didn't make the deadline doesn't make you a failure. You're still breathing. There's still breath in your body. You still have time to make those things happen.
Yeah.
So then, okay, I missed January. Now I need to get it done by March.
And let me tell you, one of the most and this is a very transparent type of thing I'm about to say. One of the great things that I felt like I was most successful in was being a father and a husband for a very long time. And personally, I felt like, man, I ain't doing nothing. I used to battle with that.
Wow.
Yeah. Where one area of my life I know that I'm successful in is being a father and a husband. And so my energy and my focus only went into those two.
That's right.
Things
That's right.
Until I put myself on the back burner.
That's right.
So, and that was a while ago, but you know what I'm saying?
But what's crazy is, here's the thing. The areas where you put all of that energy into are the areas where you are most successful.
Yeah.
And so be careful about what you put your energy into, whether it's good or bad.
Right. Because
some spaces literally suck you dry of your try. They suck you dry of ambition.
Yeah.
Some places are not feeding what you need to be feeding. And so, but what I'm going to say is you are an amazing husband and father.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, always have been. Always have been. Always have been. I could not have a better father for my daughter. But for my daughter, I wanted my daughter to marry a man like my husband. Like, he is an amazing father. He's an amazing husband. He's everything I would want my daughter to marry and everything I would want my sons to be like. So I'm grateful that we have sons who have such an amazing dad to look to. But the thing, and what I'm saying there is, that's the area where you really put the work. You put a lot of work into that area, and therefore you were successful in that area.
Right.
But do you feel like, had you put that much energy into the other things that you wanted to do, you would have been as successful?
I would have been. But
he's doing it now.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. But I think that my level of maturity and readiness wasn't where it needed to be. Where if I would have got to that place, I would have squandered it. Yeah. I would have ruined it.
That's a real thing.
Because
I say the same thing.
Yeah. I can manage what's in my hands now.
Everybody would say, why haven't you done this and this and that musically? And why haven't you recorded it? You could have been blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's a matter of opinion. Because what I know about me is, had the Lord done anything for me 20 years ago, I would have messed it up. I would have messed it up. It would have been about me 20 years ago and not about Jesus. And so he kept me in a space where I was hidden for a very long time. And I wasn't like I've never been, I never despised the hidden place. I didn't understand it sometimes, but I was never mad about it. But he hid me so that I could keep the main thing when he put me out there. When he gave me an opportunity to make his name great, he kept me hidden until he knew I would make his name great. So many times it's about, we done took the main thing away. It's about the platforms and people.
Come on.
And we have we have tried to take away what it's all about, what it's really about.
Listen, you talking good.
But 20 years ago, it would have been about me.
You talking good in here tonight.
and I thank God, because it was the trials and it was the fact. Let me say this: he kept the thorn in my flesh for a reason, so that I would never forget. It's a reason why I never want to forget what it's really all about. And it helps me. It has helped me. The dark developed me.
Woo.
The dark developed me.
I almost push you out this.
Well, don't push me out the chair, Reverend. I don't want you to
don't push
me out.
Push you, but
you know,
in my spirit,
Reverend.
I wanted to say, come on here and talk. Listen. If you have joined us tonight,
hey y'all,
hey everybody on the gram, hey everybody on Facebook,
it's word on the street, y'all.
Hey, you have tuned into what? Word on the street. I know y'all caught my video of me singing earlier this week. They didn't want me to join in, but they trying to shut me down, people of God.
Somebody please book Pastor Lewis. He really want to sing, and I need somebody to just go ahead and book him so he can get on the platform, because I can't take it.
I can come out here and I can sing you all a song. I can do it.
He'll do it. He'll sing. It might not be the best, but he's gonna give it to you.
Man, isn't that something?
I'd rather hear you preach, honey.
When people can really get out of here, man.
Let me hug you. I love you.
She didn't talk about it. Now she want to hug you. But anyway, listen, this is Word on the Street.
Welcome to Word on the Street. If you are just now tuning in, we thank you. We're talking about mental health for the month of May. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we want to hone in and really, really get into the conversation about mental health and the mind. And mental health and mental instability. And so that's where we are.
But it's something that you said, man, that really blessed me, man. You know, that you was developed in the dark. And I think that's a lot of people's testimony. And I think a lot of people try to rush that process. And they want to move beyond that space of preparedness that God is trying to get them or prepare them in. And so we run ahead of his process.
We run ahead
of his process.
So. Here's the thing that I appreciated God for was that in the dark, not only did he develop me, but I learned how to see. In the dark. It wasn't my eyes. I literally had to learn to trust the Lord in the dark. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where he was taking me. I didn't know the path. I didn't know what was up ahead. But in the dark, he gave me eyes to see. I leaned and I depended on him. I walked through that dark and I stayed still. Some of us, we're moving left and right, trying to get to a place. Here's the thing. While you're going full speed ahead to get to a destination, you don't even realize that you've run right out of the will of God. You got them skates on. You in a Ferrari.
You just moving fast.
You on your bike. You done ran right out of the will of God. He's trying to get to a destination that you have set up.
That you have set up.
Yeah, you know, them goals. By this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be married by the time I'm 30. You done got in a Ferrari and drove straight out of the will of God. Now look at you. Don't like that man. Going nowhere. Didn't even like that man. You done get out that car, park it.
My goodness.
Park that car. Let the Lord set it up.
That's let the Lord set it up. So how do you navigate through disappointments? No. Let me say, because sometimes we have very high expectations. No, thank you, Holy Ghost. Wow. He just totally flipped this, y'all. I'm sorry. I just had a moment where he flipped. How do we get over the triggers, the PTSD that we have? Because we have dealt with so much disappointment until when things show up and it looks like disappointment, we immediately, like our heart flutter when we get a phone call because we've had trauma there in that space. Or, you know.
You preached a message. I'm going to say it was 2 years ago.
Jeez.
You preached a message. What to do when God says no.
I preached that?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, Reverend. what to do when God says no. And when I tell you that message freed me,
What that? I got to go look up.
you
I
go
gotta
look that
at
up. Go look it up. What to do when God says no.
I should listen. I should have pulled that out for myself to read that myself. That's a blessing. What to do when God says no? Wow. Yeah.
You know, we got to praise
sorry,
for the
y'all.
yes.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, we got to praise. We got
I
a
preach a
1-2
lot of
step.
mess.
We speaking in tongues when he say yes.
But when he says
But
no,
what do we do?
can you still rejoice when he
says no?
When he doesn't give you the green light?
When you're 45 or 50 and ain't married. When the business don't go as planned. When the children start acting crazy, and what to do when God says no? Will you still do his will?
Man, that's a challenging place.
When it's no.
That's a challenging place because a lot of times when we get that NO word, we feel like we're unfairly being treated. We feel like we're being delayed. We feel like a whole bunch of stuff.
Truth of the matter is, nobody likes being told no. But let's be clear.
But the no saved me.
The no saved me. The no saved. The no saved a lot of us.
Oh man.
The no saved a lot of us.
Yes, man.
I'm telling you. There were times I definitely wanted to go here and go there and do this and do that. And I'm gonna tell you that when it was a no, I didn't understand God. Okay. I didn't understand God. I mean, I did not understand how come I couldn't go on tour. I can sing. Why can't I go on tour? Yeah. It's money. All of the things that I thought were positive about the situation. I had the checklist going. Yeah. I needed to feed my kids. I had 2 children. They needed to eat. And it was going to be a great opportunity.
Oh, this was years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago. It was a great opportunity. It was with a major artist. They were not gospel.
Jeez.
They were R&B.
And yeah.
And at the time, I was okay living 2 lives. I was okay being on this side of the fence and on that side of the fence. And when it came down to the choose ye this day, my mind went to what I could do with what I knew I would have if I was on this tour. Yeah. My mind went nowhere to Jesus. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to do this and that, and I'm gonna be able to. Yeah. I'm set. Yeah. But God said no.
And look at you now. I'm not being comical, but the no saved your life.
My life.
And the no kept your name.
The no saved my life.
And it kept your name safe.
Yeah.
You know, not that you doing anything crazy, but just the fact that now your name or your name can circulate into different rooms now. If that makes sense. And it's safe.
I'm not a crier, y'all, but what God did for me in the no brings tears to my eyes because what I couldn't see then, what I could not see then, all I could do was trust that the no was going to help me and not hurt me. Yeah. It didn't feel good. It took me someplace mentally. Not being able to do what everybody else I knew was doing. Everybody I knew was touring with major artists. Everybody I knew. And when I look around now, I say, man, the Lord really loves me. I know y'all think y'all his favorite, but I'm really one of his favorites. I'm one of his favorites. Yeah. I'm pretty much one of his favorites.
You're one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of his favorites because
you're my favorite.
Well, that's all. Is that all right? Well, give me a hand.
Come on, man. Bless you, woman of God.
So I'm grateful. Guess what? Had I gone on tour, I wouldn't have met my husband.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I wouldn't have this beautiful family.
Knows what he's doing.
wouldn't have this amazing, amazing ministry that God has given us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am and doing what I'm doing. I know it for sure.
Mhm.
Had I gone on that tour. What
I'm
to do
sure
when
you
God
would've-
says,
yeah, 'cause I
I didn't know you.
You would have, yeah. I would not have met you.
You would not have met
You
me.
would have been often.
Mhm.
God.
And the truth is, I'm gonna tell you this. Now I know you playing, but I'm for real.
I ain't
I
playing.
probably would not have come back to that place
I know.
had I gone on the tour.
But listen, I'm gonna preach this. And I just heard this. God kept you still until I showed up.
Mm.
Jesus,
Wow.
that can go for a lot of stuff. Huh?
God is keeping you still until He shows up.
He shows. Glory
Here's
to
the
God.
thing, though.
Yes, Lord.
He's already there.
He's all. Come on.
His hand is already
Come
on
on.
it. His hand is on you. It's on the situation.
Yeah. God.
He's already there. You're just waiting on the manifestation of the thing you've been asking Him for.
Preach that, son.
My God, today. I'm telling you, what to do when God says no? Stand still
And no.
and no.
You have to have knowledge that He's on the way. He's there.
He's there, y'all.
It's getting ready to manifest what you've been waiting for and what you need.
Some of us have been battling
It's getting ready to
battling
manifest.
grief, battling depression. People are battling emotionally, battling grieving jobs,
Come on.
hating to get up every day and go to the do the thing that's making you money,
Mhm.
hating where you work, hating your coworkers. I mean, so many things are going on. Children,
Yeah.
you know, I one of the things that I'm so grateful for, I thank God for this every single day.
Okay.
That he gave us he gave us not just seeds
Mhm.
years ago, but today those seeds have sprouted up
Oh yeah.
and produced
Yeah.
what we produced, what we made.
Yeah. What we need.
Is God is building that thing up, and I'm watching these kids do something and be servants.
Yeah.
Somebody made mention to me the other day. They said, your children just fell straight out of heaven. No, ma'am. I mean, that's a beautiful. I appreciate the sentiment, but baby, we prayed for that.
Yeah.
We prayed. We got on our knees for that.
Yeah.
We went to the Lord for that.
Mhm.
We had to go through hell and battle the enemy multiple times. We had to shut our mouths and be quiet for that.
Yeah.
We had to wait until we saw the Lord do what He had promised us. And we couldn't talk to anybody or tell anybody.
That's good. That's good.
Stand still and see
Mhm.
the salvation of the Lord. We
Yeah.
had to stand still.
And see.
Song says, if I hold my peace
And let
the Lord fight my battles,
victory.
victory shall be mine. Kalia, I love you. I'm proud of you. Mommy, Kalia's on IG, y'all. So I'm just over here just encouraging my baby. Mommy loves you. We are proud of you. We thank God for what He has done for you and how He has brought you out, the gifts that He has given you. You know, I've been calling you prophetess for a lot. I didn't let nobody else say it, but I was saying
Oh, that's my
it years ago, our little prophetess.
Oh, yeah.
And we literally had to stand still and see.
Oh, yeah.
And the Lord did something so beautiful in your life.
Yes.
And we are excited about your future and
Yes.
what God is doing in you. And we know that, you know, it was for all of this it's not for nothing.
Yeah.
It's not for nothing, honey.
Right.
I'm telling you. And so it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But what did we do when the answer was no? When we had no idea
Yeah.
what God was doing.
Yeah.
So what did we do when God said no? We shut our mouths and we prayed.
And I'll just say this. He controls the hand on the clock.
Yeah.
And so he can, what you thought you missed, he bring it right back around. And this time you'll be ready for it. And this time it's gonna bless you.
It's gonna bless you.
It's gonna bless you because you obeyed the no.
Absolutely.
He's going to speed you up. He's going to put some wind behind you.
You said I should have been here. I should have been doing this. I should have
yeah.
been doing that by now.
Because you stood still.
But you stood still.
And allow him to do it. Oh, this time
It's gonna work this time.
It's gonna work this time.
It's gonna work this
It's
time.
gonna work, and it's not gonna overtake you.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hang our hat
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
That you're not going to be overwhelmed
You
in
won't
this
be overwhelmed
season.
in this season.
The only overwhelming you're going to be is by the grace and favor
Come
of
on.
God.
Come on. Come on.
You're going to be overwhelmed in this season by the favor of God.
Yes.
You're not going to be bogged down in this season.
Not in this season.
With mental instability.
No.
Oh, no.
Mental anguish.
He hid you for that season.
Sleepless
He
nights.
kept you hidden for that season,
yes.
so that this time, when
when
you step forward,
yeah,
you were stepping forward with power.
with power.
You're stepping forward with his peace.
With a testimony.
With a testimony.
Oh yeah, that he did it.
That he could have done
He
it.
could have done it.
Only he could have done it.
Oh yes, I
this
believe
time
that.
you waited.
I believe
you
that.
were patient with the
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
A lot of people fall into that trap of trying to I'm telling you, get in that car and drive straight out of the will of God.
Yeah.
Because we want a thing so badly.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't realize that the thing it was the thing that we wanted, but not what God wanted for us.
Come on.
So when I'm praying, I'm not praying for my will. If I'm praying for his will, then I got to be praying for that I stay in line with the thing that he's calling me to do. This time, y'all, it's going to work.
Yeah.
The favor of God is getting ready to find you and fund you.
Come on.
You said it. I did it.
Yeah. Favor is going to fund you.
It's getting ready to fund you.
I don't know what you're working on, what you've been praying for, or what's on before God.
It's getting ready to
what you have before God. But favor is getting ready to fund you because you did not run beyond the no. You waited until he called your name. And so y'all be blessed. Listen. You have joined Word on the Street. If you want to continue to help us come on here and continue to build ministry, you could sow into, no pressure there, but you could sow by way of Cash App, by $, The Believers. $, The Believers. All right, make sure you see our logo on there.
And welcome to those who are just joining us. We're at the tail end of Word on the Street. We're here every single Thursday at 7 p.m. We're talking about topics and things that are not being discussed. Sometimes it's tough. Some conversations are tough to talk about because it's Jesus in the church and some of the things that happen outside of that we scared to talk about. But here at Word on the Street,
right,
we're gonna talk about it.
We'll talk about it
because it's relevant to our walk.
Yeah.
And some of the things our children are going through, things that we're personally going through. And so here every Thursday, Word on the Street, we want y'all to join us. If you're sowing, that's wonderful. If you want to send us a testimony, that blesses us.
Yes.
If this is blessing you, please let us know that this is blessing you. I'm so grateful that you joined us tonight. We're gonna be back here next Thursday. We definitely want to invite you to Victorious Believers Church. We have church on Sundays at 3:45 p.m. in Fayetteville, Georgia.
Pack your lunch and come on out there.
Pack your lunch and come on out there. Now I ain't got no food for you, but I got some manna from heaven. We got manna from heaven. It's gonna be a word. You're gonna be fed by the word. Okay. Let the Lord feed you.
My wife.
And there's a meal from Jesus.
If anyone on here, if you're going back and replaying and you do not know the Lord as your Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, this is the opportunity for you to give your heart over to the Lord and to receive him into your life. And it's simple. All you have to do is say, Lord Jesus, I now make you my Lord and Savior. I now resist the devil. I denounce his kingdom. I denounce him. And I now embrace you and allow you to enter my life. I believe you died for my sins and you now are head of my life. If you repeated those things, you are now saved. If you're not here close and within the driving distance to Victorious Believers, find you a Bible believing church, connect with a local assembly.
Absolutely.
And allow them to foster your new relationship with Christ. I believe that you now entered the best space and season of your life. And I'm so happy that you all have joined us tonight here for Word on the Street. God is doing amazing things, and I'm so glad that you all have jumped on here for Word on the Street. Do us a favor. Next week, here, 7:00 p.m., same time, same co-host here.
Word on the Street.
We don't Word on the Street. Word on the Street. Word. See that? I drive it. But anyway,
Please book him. He really wants to sing. Somebody please
I'm coming.
book Pastor Jay.
You ain't
he
got to
just
book me.
wants to come.
I'm gonna come.
He'll
and
come
just
for free.
Celebrate
He
Jesus
want to
with
come
you.
for free. He just want to sing someplace, and there's no space for him here. We don't want it.
She says there's no space for me.
No space for me. We don't want it. We want him to
Alright.
preach. We don't want him to.
Listen, y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself. Don't stress because favor is funding you in
Favor
this
is
season.
funding you.
Don't worry about nothing. God got it. All right.
See you next week.
See you next week. Peace.
And I'm gonna share